We're on this series about being intimidated by the enemy. And today I just want to share with you on this issue of our relationships. The enemy really wants to intimidate us and bully us around and make us think that we really can't have valid, effective, and great relationships. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One is that relationships are really hard to develop. When you realize that we are insecure individuals, we all have issues, we all were raised with different challenges in our home, we have insecurities, and yet we're trying to develop a relationship with someone else who has insecurities or challenges in their home, and we expect through both these two insecurities, these two individuals that have challenges, to come together and have an effective relationship. It really takes more than just a casual thing that happens. It takes intentionality, and the devil realizes that. Another thing that works against us in having effective relationships is the fact that we are all different. With our ages, our appearance, our political affiliation, our intelligence, economic status, race, our theological perspectives, all these things are differences that if we're not intentional about our relationships, they can divide us instead of making us one. So today I just want to tell you that don't be bullied around. Don't let the enemy tell you that you can't have effective relationships because you're insecure, because of your differences. But realize that when you become proactive about loving one another, then God does something really special in our relationships. For example, husbands, the way we love our wives, it's really easy for things to happen in our relationship that would cause us to draw back or be intimidated in our love for our wives. But when we realize that Christ loved us so much that he gave his life for us, why can't I love my wife the same way? And wives, the same thing with your husbands. When we realize that the love of Jesus Christ resides in us, then it will push us past our differences in our relationships. Fathers and mothers with your children, don't let the devil intimidate you in your love and your relationship with your kids. Forge through that thing and realize that as you love your kids, you are demonstrating to them a love that comes from Jesus Christ. And it will encourage them. It'll allow them to love in their relationships when they find challenges. And also it'll cause them to love you more when they see that your love for them is not based on their performance. Your love for them is not based on how many A's they get or if they don't get F's. But your love for them is based upon your relationship with them. And then in our basic everyday relationships, I love some of the things it says in the Bible. It tells us to love one another, to depend on one another, to be devoted to one another, to rejoice with one another, to weep with one another. Don't judge one another. Why does the Bible give us so many instructions concerning one another? Because God realizes that that's our strength. It's when we begin to grow in our relationships with one another. When I begin to depend on you, when I begin to forgive you, when you forgive me, it strengthens our relationship. And in that relationship, when we love one another, we are then most like Jesus Christ. I want to encourage you, don't be intimidated when you find challenges in your relationships, but understand it's through those differences, it's through those challenges that we grow as men and women, as boys and girls, to become more like Jesus Christ. Remember, he died on the cross for one reason, that the Father might have a relationship with you and I. How much more will I give myself to have a relationship with you? God bless you. Have a wonderful day.